Confidentiality is defined in the Committee on National Security Systems Instruction C and SSI 4009 as preserving the authorized restrictions on information access and disclosure, including protecting personal privacy and proprietary information. We can see that confidentiality relates to permitting authorized access to information while at the same time protecting information from improper disclosure. This is a difficult balance to achieve, especially when many users on our systems are guests or customers that we have little or no control over. We do not know if they are accessing our systems from a compromised machine or vulnerable mobile application. So, our obligation is to regulate access and protect the data that needs protection, yet permit access to authorized individuals. Related to the area of confidentiality are the terms personally identifiable information, PII, protected health information, PHI, and classified or sensitive information. This last category includes trade secrets, research, business plans, and intellectual property, IP. NIST Special Publication 800-122 defines PII as any information about an individual maintained by an agency, including 1. Any information that can be used to distinguish or trace an individual's identity, such as name, social security number, date, and place of birth, mother's maiden name, or biometric records. And 2. Any other information that is linked or linkable to an individual, such as medical, educational, financial, and employment information. PHI is any information regarding health status, the provision of health care, or payment for health care, as defined in HIPAA, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. Classified or sensitive information refers to information that has been determined to require protection against unauthorized disclosure and is marked to indicate its classified status when in documentary form. Another useful definition is sensitivity, which is a measure of the importance assigned to information by its owner or the purpose of denoting its need for protection. Sensitive information is information for which harm would befall an organization or individual if that information were to be improperly disclosed or modified. In many cases, sensitivity is related to the harm to external stakeholders who are the people or organizations that may not be a part of the organization that is processing or using the information. Note that the EU's General Data Protection Regulation and the laws that implement it within EU member nations include PHI and PII within its broad definition of sensitive personal information, but does not use those prevalent terms in the North American market. Many other nations have legally mandated requirements for protecting such information, expressed in slightly different terms. The consequences of a breach in confidentiality may include legal and regulatory fines and sanctions, loss of customer and investor confidence, loss of competitive advantage, and civil litigation. These consequences can have a damaging effect on the reputation and economic stability of an organization. For example, businesses must often deal with information that they consider pre-procurement sensitive, which can often involve what-if explorations of ideas related to opening or closing a factory, changes to a product, or changes to a supplier relationship. Someone acting on such insider knowledge prior to public or marketplace disclosure could act in ways that profits oneself but harms others. Confidentiality supports the principle of least privilege by providing that only authorized individuals, processes, or systems should have access to information on a need-to-know basis. The level of access that an authorized individual should have is set at the level necessary for that individual to perform their job. An important measure to ensure confidentiality of information is data classification. This helps determine who should have access to the information, whether public, internal use only, or confidential. Identification, authentication, and authorization through access controls are practices that support maintaining the confidentiality of information. A sample control for protecting confidentiality is to encrypt information. A variety of techniques, including encryption, anonymization, and fragmentation or segmentation, can limit the usability of the information if it is accessible to an unauthorized person.